Hello and welcome back to KNF Design. If you're new here, my name is Katie and I try to bring a wide variety of different craft projects to you. If you ever have a craft project you would like me to show you how to make or just want to see me try to make it, let me know down below and I'll try my best to bring that to you. If you like today's craft project, make sure to hit those thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me and it helps bring my crafting videos to more crafters like you. Don't forget to also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way you don't miss out on any of our crafting fun. So with that, let's get crafting. So I found these fun wool pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I love crafting on a budget. They're actually supposed to be the same, but the pink one definitely looks bigger than this little green one. So I got those two colors and I'm going to see if we can add HTV, heat transfer vinyl, also known as iron-on vinyl, to these pumpkins. I'm going to be putting faces on them, but you could put leaves or like little ghosts, a saying, things like that. And it would be just take these little pumpkins to the next level. They did have other types of pumpkins. If you do this, like I said, I'll be showing you on these wool ones the settings to use. The Cricut Easy Press heat guide suggests using the mini press on medium for 30 seconds with a preheat of 5 seconds. I'll also do butcher paper to cover it just to protect the surrounding fabric so it doesn't get burnt. So I'm going to test that setting first, and if you need to, we might add some more heat if it's not sticking right away. And it'll be interesting. I think it should also be okay going into the grooves a little bit as well. But like I said, I'm going to do faces just because I thought that'd be fun. And I've made some cute faces. If you've been with me for a while, you might have seen like these hot chocolate mug faces. And those are the faces I'm going to be adding to these pumpkins. Not these two particular, but I have a bunch of them. And actually I created some new ones just for this project. If you're interested on how to make these, it does open up so you can store like candy and stuff inside. But if you're interested in learning how to make these fun ones, haven't seen it before, how to do like the hot chocolate drip down below, I'll link that down below. In the face folder that you can purchase from my shop, it also comes with some hot chocolate vinyl that you could cut if you don't want to make your own. But I've done these on like these cups. If you don't want to deal with this whipped cream, I've put a plant inside. He is in a box somewhere, still yet to be unpacked. Don't worry, it is a fake plant. And then this one, these two actually were done with a lightweight spackle from Dollar Tree. I also did a pumpkin spice cup that was cute, and that I used the caulk so you can see the different textures. I'll link both of those down below if you're interested. And I might as well just do, I've also done Halloween mugs as well. So I'll link all those down below if you're interested in looking at any of those crafts as well. But let's jump over into, I'm going to do Cricut Design Space. Any machine that can cut vinyl would work fine for this, but I'm using Cricut because that's what I have, and I'm just going to use some Cricut Everyday Iron-On. I have a nice pink for some cheeks and some black. We'll just have to watch not to do maybe cheeks on this one because it probably won't show up as much. Just something to think about, but it'd look really pretty on my green. The black should show up well on both, so you don't have to pick the same colors I am, but just think of that when picking out your faces. And make sure you measure your pumpkins to know both how high and wide your face designs can be, because in my file, I let you do a lot of fun, creative things and mixing and matching faces. So let's head over to Cricut Design Space to look at those faces. Here we are in Cricut Design Space. I just went to my canvas and hit the upload button, and then we can click browse and find a file and open. So here's all the different faces for you here if you purchase it. And then if you want to save it in a category, rename some things, add some tags so you can locate it easier, you can do that. And then just hit upload. It'll look like this, and we just want to ungroup everything so that way we can click on each thing individually. So for these pumpkins, we don't need these chocolate drippings, so we'll just delete those. You can also hit the eyeball to hide things. So you can see his cheek here disappears with that and comes back when you unclick the eyeball. So there's a bunch of different faces that we can choose from. You are not limited just to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here. And actually, this one could be the 11th. It's just extra eyebrows and a mouth, but it kind of looks like a cute little face to me. So we'll count them as 11. But let's say you don't like the eyebrows. You can click on them and either hide or just delete them. Control-Z on my computer here brings them back for us. Or you could hit the undo button. Let's say you really like this face, but you're not a fan of him winking, so just delete it. Click on the other eyeball and hit duplicate. And then there you go. You can line it up too. The lining up is more, you can do it for spacing and stuff, and then just hit the align button and you can align them. I'll show you quick, so select both of them, line, and then depending how you want them aligned, here we want them up and down wise, and it looks like I did a pretty good job at that, so they didn't really move. So you can do it that way. And then if you wanted it, when you cut, you want it to be exactly like this. Maybe so you want the eyebrows and the eyes. Actually, it's eyebrows are kind of crooked now. But you don't want to have to measure that when after you cut it. You want it to cut in this exact order so it's easy to apply, and just hit attach. Otherwise, you have eyeballs and eyebrows just on a line, and that way it's Cricut's way to save as much space. So it just depends if you want to save as much vinyl, or if you don't want to worry about the spacing, you got the spacing correct here, then just make sure you attach things. Now, if you do different colors like the pink cheeks, you can't attach the pink cheeks with the black eyeballs because they're two different colors of vinyl. It attaches similar colors. So if we were to then select a pink cheek and hit attach, it changes it all to that pink vinyl. So you just have to attach the pink pieces together and the black pieces together. And let's say you don't have pink and you want to change his tongue to maybe red. That's fine, you can do that. To whatever you would like. And actually, you could, that's kind of cute doing red with pink too. Then let's see, let's say you like this face, but you think the cheeks are too little. You could bring that cheek down and just delete the small one, or you can select the small one and make it as big or small as you want. Lots of possibilities. Feel free to change things up, switch up stuff, so you have one open eye, one closed. In this case, just make sure you delete that extra piece so it doesn't cut out. So feel free to mix things up, change sizes. Maybe you don't like the ginormous eyes, so you can shrink them down. If you do stuff like this, then just make sure you don't want to like just randomly shrink that one down. Like eyes, you want to keep them the same, so that's a 0.49, and that one actually ends up being 0.49 as well. So you can change the size there. You can click on both. I'm holding shift as I select both, and you can shrink them both at the same time. Now my eyes are off a little, so we can just kind of move on back. There you go. So that's some different ways to do that. Yeah, you really can do a whole bunch of different things. Now, one more thing. My pumpkins are pink and green. So let's take this eyeball here, and if you see, you can see the pink when you hover over the cheek. That means this is a hole. It's just going to cut that out. And there's no white there. It's just a hole. I mean, it'll be a black circle that you'll discard, but it's just a hole. So if you want the green or the pink showing through and you don't want to have to deal with putting these little tiny white dots on it, then that's fine. Leave it like that. But if you want to add the white circles, quick way to do it is to duplicate that eye, and then you just go over to contour and hide that big circle, which is the black. So now we have those pieces that go inside, and we just want to change them to white. Now you might, they're already attached, so you don't have to attach it, and you don't even have to put them over here because Cricut's going to put it on a different mat because they are white. But there are those little circles that'll go right there in the eyeball for you. And you can also remove the tongue if you don't want the tongue. If you just want the tongue, you can do that. So I really left it up to you to do a lot of different things. You can rearrange them however you want. Remove pieces, put pieces with other pieces. It's a lot of fun to mess around and create new eyes and things like that. Don't be afraid to rotate things. Oops. And now you have another one like that. Sizing, rotating, switching faces, changing colors, changing sizes. I really like this little guy here, so if you do want to change him completely, I think he might be fun maybe on my small pumpkin, which I want to make maybe 2.5 inches wide, which it's almost there. So I selected everything so it all gets changed together. And that means it's 1 inch and we'll say 2. And that's not too tall, so that should fit fine on my pumpkin, my little green one. Just note that that little dot there is really small if you do that contour technique to put the white dots in. That's going to be pretty small to try to keep track of, so just be leery of that if you do try to do that. All right, I think that's it. Have fun creating some fun faces. I look forward to seeing what faces you create. And because these are such fun faces, I'm definitely going to be making more projects in the future. Hint, hint. All right, let's get back to cutting out this vinyl, and then we'll apply it to our pumpkins. Just a quick little side thing that I'm going to do just to make it slightly easier on myself. So for this one in particular, since my pumpkin is pink, I don't necessarily need to apply pink vinyl. I could, or you can go over to combine and hit subtract. And now it just takes it out of there. You do have to watch out that this is pretty thin. So I actually might move this up just a smidge, just so this is a little bit thicker. Combine, subtract, so now that line's a little bit thicker there. And when I apply that to my pumpkin, which will be pink, it'll show through. Might do the white technique there, so that way the white in those eyes aren't pink like the tongue, but I think I'm going to keep, since these ones are small, they'll end up being the green behind, and that'll be fine with me. He'll just have green eyes. So again, to get that white, you just duplicate, go down to contour, select that big one, which makes that big black piece disappear, and then we'll turn them white. And we'll just kind of put them off to the side. I like the alignment, so I'm going to go ahead and attach them so they stay together. And I'm going to show you here real quick when I hit make it. Now we won't save this time. Usually I do save. Go on a mat. So there's our white eyeball centers. Now this is the one I did not hit attach to. This one here, I hit attach, so it's going to stay all together. This one's going to save the most final. So up to you which way you want to do it. Again, for like this one here, just unselect your cheeks so you keep them pink. And then you could also attach the pink cheeks if you want. I think I'm just going to put those separately. And now I'm going to go cut out all my HTV. So as our mini heat press heats up, again we're doing that medium setting. I just want to mention real quick, so I weeded out all of our HTV. I used the Cricut HTV, which says to mirror, and put that shiny side down. So that's what setting I did, and I like to do more pressure. Again, follow the instructions for your iron-on. Now, this is a round surface, so sometimes vinyl, it's a little stiff and doesn't really like to bend, especially around curves, as easily. So what I like to do is put these little tiny slits just around the vinyl here. And then as you can see, it bends so much more. So that's one thing you can do if you're struggling a little bit. And then there's also a heat resistant tape that we can also apply, because when we go to stick this on, it's not going to stick all that well. So just to help it stay nice and flat, I'm going to use some heat resistant tape, and then we'll cover the whole thing with a Teflon sheet just so I don't hit the fabric at all. And then I'll do my little pieces at the end. Now it did say to heat it up for about 5 seconds, so we're going to do that first. And actually I'm going to test it just in the back here first. And you can also use some heat resistant gloves as well if you need to. So it did get warm and it seems like it's okay. So we'll go ahead and move to the front and do that preheat. So watch those fingers if you don't put any gloves on. Alright, and the preheat's just good so you don't have any shrinkage and things like that. I have had that issue in the past. Alright, so let's put our face down. for 30 seconds, constantly moving on that medium heat setting. You could focus on like just the mouth, then do the eye and the next eye if that helps, because this one here is getting a little bit covered up. So I might do these two, reposition things, and then do that last one. Looks like it's starting to adhere, but it needs just a little bit more to continue to adhere. So I'm just gonna keep applying my heat for a little bit more. I went ahead and did the little guy too. They both have cooled down now, so we'll see if that was enough heat applied. And she looks like she transferred well. Just really work in those grooves. That's kind of a harder area to get. You could leave it like that, but I think I'm going to add her white eyeball pieces. Then I'll cover her back up and do the Teflon and heat that up. And then she will be done. And then I might even add like an actual bow to her. I think that would be cute. So I'll have to get one of those out. Now this one here, I realized it's cushiony. If I just squish it down, it kind of makes it a softer area versus this roundedness. So I only did him for 30. Her, I did 2 rounds of 30 on her. Oh yeah, and that was enough. So I think pressing it down really made a difference with this one here. Just trimming this extra transfer sheet on the cheeks just because it's kind of hitting his eyeball weird and I don't want it to make a crease in his eyeball. So that way it's not covering it. Good. Now we'll apply some more heat. So here are little pumpkins all finished. I think they turned out cute, but I think she's missing one little thing. So I dug in my pile to find some bows. And the first bow I found was this ginormous one, which actually is kind of cute and fun. Doing off the side bow or just in the middle there. I think it's kind of fun. I also saw this little checkered one, but this one just kind of seemed off, maybe because the bow's kind of flat. You could then dress it up with maybe a sunflower to add a little bit to it. You can attach all these bows just with hot glue, or most of these have the twisty ties, and I'll just tie it around the stem of my pumpkin that way. I also found this cute little red one that I actually like. I know it's supposed to be Christmas, but I think it's kind of fun. You could go either side with it. And then this one also would be kind of fun with the sunflower to make it go back with the fall-ish theme. Or if you don't want a bow, you could see like your flower options, a cute little flower. I found that blue flower, which would be really pretty with like a leaf. Again, you could do in the center, or kind of off to the side there. I think the flower is kind of a cool option as well, and then it kind of helps tie in with the other little pumpkin. So I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know down below. Do you like hot gluing the flower on or the red bow or one of the other bows I showed you? I think for now I'm just gonna keep it simple and tie this red bow, so if I change my mind I can, and it's not glued in place, so it's not permanent. So there she goes. You can stack them on top of each other like that. Be kind of fun. Or kind of stay, maybe. You might need some glue if you want to do that with them, but that would be fun. You can just leave them next to each other. They would be fun on like a table decoration, scattered throughout the house. Maybe the kids have to go and find all the fun faces. There's a lot you can do with these. And again, there's tons of different faces to play around with. And if you don't like the faces, you could just do scenes or ghosts, spiders and cobwebs, black cats, just any like fall leaves, things like that. Fall leaves would be pretty with like the outlines of like a glitter all around the pumpkins. But just so you know, the wool pumpkins from Dollar Tree HTV can sit nicely on it, and they're kind of cute and they look good like just how they were, but you can always dress them up. I hope you had as much fun playing around with these guys as I did, and I will see you next week for another fun Halloween-ish type craft. Bye for now.